Nightmares, flashbacks, difficulty sleeping, and feelings of detachment or estrangement. All are common symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Many veterans suffer from PTSD, returning home from service only to encounter psychological battles and struggle with anxiety, depression, or substance abuse. But experts say with comprehensive support, including peer mentorship and spiritual connections, veterans with PTSD can overcome the challenge post-traumatic stress poses and begin to heal.
I'm a 21-year combat veteran, and over the years, I've seen multiple issues in reference to how post-traumatic stress affects my peers, my subordinates, and my leaders. And it permeates into every aspect of your life, your work, your personal relationships, even the daily tasks that you work through on a daily basis. And when you bring everything that happened in country back home, it's not left in a foreign land. There's shame, there's guilt, there's things that rock you to your core. And so you start to self-isolate when you're not around your brothers in arms. You really start to focus on trying to drown out all of those background noises in your mind. And the effects of that are detrimental to our reintegration back into civilian life.
A beacon of hope, the PTSD Foundation of America helps veterans afflicted with combat-related PTSD overcome trauma and lead healthier lives. Created to help veterans reintegrate into society and become successful and thriving members of their communities, the PTSD Foundation helps veterans create a new purpose-filled life, reconnect with loved ones, and move forward to a productive and meaningful future.
PTSD Foundation of America, we are committed to serving our veterans dealing with combat-related post-traumatic stress, doing everything we possibly can to reduce the suicide rate that's going on in our veteran community. We are passionate about it. We are devoted to it all day, every day. We are a peer-to-peer, faith-based organization, Christ-centered, doing everything we possibly can to bring that hope and healing to our veteran community, not just to the veterans, but to their families and to their friends, the entire community. The faith-based aspect, the peer-to-peer portion of what we do is critical, and it's why we're effective in what we do.
In 2012, the PTSD Foundation of America established Camp Hope, an interim housing facility in Houston, Texas. A multifaceted 6 to 9 month program striving to relieve the effects of combat trauma through a whole-person approach. Camp Hope serves as a quiet and safe setting for the victims of PTSD to experience healing, providing tools like peer support, mentor programs, and professional counseling services at no cost to veterans or their families.
Coming back from combat, transitioning home from the military is a very difficult time for a lot of veterans. That transition is extremely difficult into civilian life. And when they have the scars of war, they come back with PTSD, moral injury. Often they use substances to cope with those injuries. That affects their social life, their occupation, their relationship issues. So they have very complex and intertwined struggles coming back. And so Camp Hope allows them a place for healing.
Extended trauma, moral injury, and co-occurring disorders can be complicated and psychologically painful. But with time and the ample support of community, family, and friends, recovery is possible.
I got out of the military in 2008. What led me to Camp Hope was I battled PTSD for 10 years on my own. I lost friends in combat, but I lost a lot more friends to suicide after combat. In 2018, a very close friend of mine killed himself, and that was kind of the end for me. I was battling drug addiction, battling the symptoms of PTSD. I just wanted to give up on life. I just wanted it to be over. And I had become okay with dying. I just did not want to live anymore. I found out about Camp Hope from a friend of mine who I served with in Afghanistan. And if it had not been from him, I would have never even known that Camp Hope existed. My wife begged me to come to Camp Hope. I said no. I said, I'm not gonna go to Camp Hope. I don't wanna go to Camp Hope. I was terrified to get better. I didn't want to come and face the things that I had done, the things that I had seen, trauma from my childhood. I did not want to face that. This was one of the hardest things I had ever done, but it saved my life, and it gave me a life that I could have never imagined. If it hadn't been for Camp Hope and my wife, I would not be alive.
Right now we have Camp Hope, which is our core program. We do have other services that are offered here, like equine therapy, and we work with other organizations and partnerships within the area to try to get that holistic, individualized approach for individuals that need those different things. We would like to add on an intervention program on the front end of everything. But the most vital piece of what we have going on that we need to address as a foundation is housing. 60% of our veterans are categorized as homeless. That means 365 days out of the year, they don't have somewhere to lay their head, and they're going from house to house, friend to friend, trying to find somewhere to stay, or else they're staying under a bridge. After they do their 6 to 9 months here, we do offer them an opportunity to stay here at Camp Hope as our green phase piece, but we want something more. We want to be able to give them at least anywhere from 12 to 36 months in housing, which we don't have enough here. Coinciding with that would be our peer mentor staff would actually be part of that process to be able to provide the peer mentorship as they're lifting back out of what they went through and reintegrating back into society.
Veterans deserve respect, compassion, and to be treated with dignity. Learn more today about the PTSD Foundation of America. Veterans answered the call. We choose to answer theirs. If you are a veteran in crisis, call the Combat Trauma Support Line at 877-717-PTSD.